Welcome to Fearopoly Street as we discuss Fear Street book number 9, The Stepsister.
Just how dangerous is Jessie? Emily wants to like her new stepsister, but Jessie doesn't make it easy for her. As soon as Jessie moves in, she takes over Emily's room, starts wearing Emily's clothes, makes secret late-night calls on Emily's phone, and that's just the beginning. Before long, Emily is living in total fear of her stepsister. Emily tries complaining to her parents, but Jessie's such a good liar, no one will believe Emily. Emily's terror mounts when she picks up Jessie's diary and learns a horrifying secret from Jessie's past. Did Jessie really murder someone? Does she plan to murder again? Emily knows she must find out the rest of her stepsister's dark secret. Her own life depends on it.
So this book was written in November 1990. And I know we're kind of keeping a half-assed chronology of where we are in Fear Street. But this book, in chapter 1, we know that it's December. So, it comes out in November, getting ready. People are getting ready for the holidays.
Kind of late in the year for a homecoming dance.
I thought so too, because my homecoming dance was in October.
Yeah, ours usually was too.
Yeah.
And there's nothing holiday-esque about this book?
No. So maybe it's like the first week of December before everyone gets into the holiday spirit.
I don't know. The cover struck me. We both have the original cover. And they describe that Jessie is supposed to be so petite and so much smaller than Emily, but that does not come across on the cover at all.
No, she looks very Sweet Valley High.
Like tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the cover failed. Also, a new feature of this book is the chapters have titles.
Yeah, I liked that.
Most of them are misleadingly sinister.
Yes. Chapter 1, Tuesday night. So we're in chapter 1. It's December. And Emily is 16 years old and lives on Fear Street with her mom and older sister, Nancy. Nancy will be in college next year. And Emily's mom has recently remarried Hugh Wallner, and he and his 2 children, Jessie and Rich, are moving in to Emily's house. Jessie is the same age as Emily, and they'll be sharing a room. Jessie and Emily have met several times while their parents dated, and Jessie was always very nice. When Jessie gets to the house, she is very pleasant in front of Emily's mom and her dad, but when she is shown their room, she does a complete 180. Jessie misses her best friend Debbie. She pokes fun at Emily's mom. She complains about how small their room is. Emily's dog Tiger jumps on Jessie and she throws a fit because Tiger could have torn her new sweater. Jessie makes fun of Emily's stuffed bear and then complains about how her new bed is next to the window. And Jessie wants to switch beds with Emily, but Emily says she's always slept on this side of the room. And so in retaliation, Jessie rips the head off Teddy.
Which the chapter title is Teddy Dies. So that's your misleading clue. Several things struck me about this chapter. One, and this I wrote down before I got to the twist or reveal or before I figured it out.
Yeah.
But Nancy doesn't like to give completely positive compliments is the way it's phrased.
No.
And I'm like, that's a jerk thing. Her older sister's not very nice.
The whole beginning chapter is Emily talking about how fat she is. And Nancy's kind of like, you're not fat. But like, it's the whole like 90s body image.
But the actual line where she talks about that, she's very pretty in a way, Nancy said, describing Jessie, because she never liked to give completely positive compliments. And I was like, so you're just a mean girl.
Yeah.
Also, Mr. Wallner apparently was not near the house, had been gone for a while, went back to get his kids and bring them. Doesn't seem happy to see Mrs. Wallner. She doesn't seem happy to see him. Like, there's no warm greeting. There's no, like, loving kiss.
Not in this chapter, but in other chapters.
There are, but the first thing you'd expect, like, oh, honey, I'm so glad to see you.
I got a very Brady Bunch pilot episode vibe from this.
Yeah, I could see that.
Where Mrs. Brady and the girls move in.
To your theory that every book contains secret lesbians, it did definitely seem like, based on Emily's description of Jessie, that Emily was crushing on Jessie from the beginning.
Big time.
Yeah, and then that kind of went away. But at the beginning, I was like, oh, yeah, this is it. Red flag on Jessie right away. She doesn't like the dog.
And that's just RL's style of writing. He always has to compliment on a female's like physical features. And, oh, she's beautiful.
True.
Or she's fat.
So that's why we read the lesbianism, because it's just R.L. Stein's gaze looking at the way. Yeah. And then Have you ever accidentally ripped a head off a teddy bear? Because she claims it's an accident, and then later at the end book, we're supposed to believe it actually was an accident.
I mean, when I was 3, I bit the nose off my stuffed dog.
Okay, but that's different than like ripping the whole head off. It doesn't just fall apart, and if it does, not just at the neck like that.
Yeah.
So,
No, there was definitely some like force.
This is part of the problem with R.L.'s writing, I think, with these Fear Street books, is in order to cast the red herring, to make you suspicious of somebody else, he makes them act completely unbelievable and unrealistic.
Yeah.
And then later tries to be like, oops, it was an accident.
It was fine.
They're not really evil, but it's like, no, what they did was, I mean, she ripped the head off the teddy bear.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah, she did.
Anyway, chapter 2, The Last Camp Out. The last camp out. Jessie swears it was an accident, begins the gaslighting immediately. And eventually, Emily gives her the benefit of the doubt, although we find out a lot of the gaslighting is not actually gaslighting, but here it's gaslighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nancy comes in and suggests that Teddy's head can be sewn back on. Yeah, that was my obvious solution too. She and Jessie talk about Rich being quiet, and Jessie says Rich likes reading Stephen King books like Pet Sematary, Rich being Jessie's brother. I don't know that we've mentioned that, but
yes.
Yeah, the other sibling. Emily mentions that Nancy is dating Gary Brandt from the Overnight Club, but he called and canceled, and it seems that Nancy was dating Josh, but is now dating Emily.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yep.
Jessie starts to rearrange the room and claims the bed furthest from the window. She then starts to drag a nightstand over to this bed.
Yes.
And they describe the nightstand being full, and she'd have to empty it before moving it.
Mm-hmm.
So did Emily, when setting up the room, leave her full, complete nightstand next to the bed that was supposed to be Jessie's?
Sounds like it.
And now Jessie's trying to move, and Emily's like, no, now I'm going to empty it.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. Emily remembers the day her dad died. The family went to Fear Island for a camping trip during the winter months. He got in a fight with zap guns and fell down a ravine. Uh-huh. No, Emily and her dad decided to spend the day in the speedboat, but it capsized and Emily's dad drowned. Thankfully, not like a horrible bloody propeller.
No, that's what I thought.
Me
I was
too.
like, oh, is his hair going to like be caught in the propeller? No.
But then they didn't find his body or anything, which leaves that open for a mysterious sequel, right? Like they never mentioned that they found his body.
They found his body. No, I thought she saw him like bobbing up and
down.
down.
You're right. They did it for a while, and that's what I was thinking. Also, he was a pediatrician, which has nothing to do with anything really.
No, it doesn't.
But
But it was like, by the way, he's a pediatrician.
I think that's just supposed to make you feel even worse that he's dead, because pediatricians do good in the world. They help sick kids. So he must have been a good guy. No pediatrician ever has been a horrible, horrible person.
No.
Oh, wait.
Nope, they've never gone to islands.
Oh, jeez.
So in chapter 3, titled Gone Forever, at family dinner, Mr. Wallner is picking on Rich, who gets upset. Also, Mr. Wallner is a huge prick.
He says, you look like a macaroni noodle, and then says, what? It was a compliment.
Right. Like, you're picking on a 12-year-old boy who already has, like, body image issues, self-esteem issues, but sure, Dad. Anyway, Jess shows up wearing Emily's sweater, and Emily gets upset, but Jessie says it's actually her sweater. No one believes it's Emily's sweater, and if it is, it's no big deal because they're sisters now and they can share clothes.
It's written as someone who's never had a sibling.
Exactly. Back in Emily's room, Emily looked in her dresser drawer and noticed her sweater was missing, and she knows Jessie took the sweater. Emily spent the rest of the evening writing her school report on Chile. It was over 12 pages, and she goes downstairs to get something to snack on, and when she returns, Jessie is at the computer erasing Emily's report. Emily lunges at Jessie and starts punching her senseless.
We don't actually see Jessie erasing it. The report's just gone.
Yes.
So we're led to believe.
Yes, but it's told through Emily's point of view,
Right.
and so she's like convinced that Jessie was deleting it.
I mean, I understand why she did a snack, though. When you spend all that time writing 12 pages on Chili's baby back ribs, you're going to get hungry. And
this was in 1990, so she was like on DOS writing
Probably.
her report. There was no Microsoft Works, Word, because
was Word not a thing at 1990 yet?
No. We got our family computer, I want to say 91, 92, and that just had Microsoft Works on it.
Okay. And even before that, there were I remember Microsoft Works.
Mm-hmm. Which was the same exact thing as Microsoft Word, but free.
Word was actually released in 1983.
Ooh.
But the first version they had a Word for DOS.
Okay.
The first version for Windows was released in November 89.
Okay.
So Windows was already a thing by 1990 for a whole year at least.
Okay.
And Word. So it might have been Word.
Okay.
But I do remember how easy it was. Like, it didn't autosave in those days.
No.
And it was really easy to lose things.
Yes,
Whereas
it
now
was.
you can check the recycle bin. You can check
Mhm.
version history.
Yeah.
Because of things like this. But yeah, I flashed back to 1990 and losing things on the computer.
Yeah.
And getting
And it was
upset about
probably like on a floppy disk or something.
Yeah.
So
We also had a strange thing at the top of this chapter where Emily's on the phone with Josh,
Mhm.
and we're only getting her side of the conversation over and over again. We don't get any of his dialogue.
okay.
But then for whatever reason, the very last line of the phone call, he chooses to include Josh's line of dialogue. And I was thrown because I was like, that's not the format you're
It's
using.
now
Why are you
jarring.
now?
Mhm.
It was, yeah, anyway. Chapter 4, I could kill her. And that's me talking about R.L. Stine and the way he writes sometimes. The parents break up the fight and make Emily apologize. Jessie tells Emily to never embarrass her in front of her dad again. Emily goes to talk to Nancy, who's apparently a hoarder, even though that never ever comes back up.
Mm-mm.
I guess maybe that's just a sign that her personality is off
Yeah.
or something.
Off kilter.
And Nancy tells her to chill with Jessie, sparking more thoughts of Chili's baby back ribs. Because Jessie has emotional problems and sees a shrink twice a week, and she had to find a new therapist in Shadyside. This is the part where I figured it out.
Okay.
Because Jessie was way too obvious in the beginning, so you know it's a red herring.
Yeah.
And the brother Rich never, to me, seemed like a legitimate person.
Mhm.
So when I was thinking about who else it could possibly be, that really just leaves Nancy and the
Yeah.
parents, or Josh, in a stretch. At once Nancy, like, tells her about this other girl's mental condition,
Mm-hmm.
and she had that, like, mean girl thing in the first chapter where she doesn't give completely positive compliments, and we already now know that essentially Emily stole Josh from her.
Uh-huh.
I was like, okay, I got it. Chapter
There's
4, I'm
lots
there.
of okay, I didn't figure it out until chapter 5, so I was a
Yeah.
chapter late.
You were a
Okay.
whole chapter.
I was a
But
whole-
it's pretty
and
telling we
what do
both
I do for a living?
it's pretty telling we both figured it out this early.
Uh-huh.
And it was just like the
Yeah.
whole rest of the book, every time I saw Nancy, I was like, yep, it's
Yep,
her.
you did it.
So anyway, Josh comes over. He and Emily make out on the couch. Emily sees Jessie spying on them. That night, Emily wakes up because she hears Jessie on the phone saying, I could just kill her, which we never do find out what that was about.
No, we never do.
No. And this was, again, another sign of Emily still the lingering lesbianism.
Mhm.
Is she's like, Josh is an inch shorter than me, but I guess that's okay because of what he has other good qualities.
He has other good
I'm like,
qualities.
a whole inch. Gasp. He's so short.
Well, now she can't wear heels around him.
So?
But even like Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, I think, were married in 1990, and she was significantly taller
Oh,
than
yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
So yeah, just pull it up. Yeah, it's fine. So in chapter 5, titled "Surprise in the Shower," a few days after the fight, Emily sees Jessie talking to Josh at school. Jessie has only made one friend named Krista Myers, and Josh mentions that Emily and Jessie are getting along better.
Yeah, because Jessie's helping retype the report.
Yes.
Although retype's kind of inaccurate because she was just looking at notes and writing it fresh.
Mhm.
So how do you, I don't understand.
Yeah, maybe she's like reading off the notes or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Emily mentions homecoming, and Josh says that he'll be there, kind of a wink and a nod, like, well, I'll be there if you want to show up.
Mm-hmm.
In this chapter, there's a mention of Corey Brooks and Lisa Bloom, who are still dating and apparently doing better than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Della and Ricky Shore, so all the overnight club
Nightclub,
is
yeah.
there. And then a few days later, Jessie and Emily are in the kitchen making a cake. Jessie pulls out 3 cans of whipped cream and starts spraying Emily with it. R.L. Stine continues to write his fantasy of 2 high school girls engaged in a whipped cream fight when Nancy walks in the kitchen. It's now 3 high school girls in a whipped cream fight. All 3 call it a truce, and Jessie suggests Emily take a shower first before helping her clean up. Emily washes her hair, and when she gets out of the shower, she starts screaming.
So when you were a teenage girl,
Mm-hmm.
roughly, just on average, how many times a week did you get in whipped cream fights with other girls?
With other girls,
Just an average.
on average, I mean, there were many times I wish I was in a whipped cream fight with other girls. I could probably name all of them that
Mhm.
I wish that I was in one. But never, not a single one, not even with myself.
Whipped cream fights would not have been my fantasy because sticky and messy is not
That
my
is,
thing.
yeah.
That would bother me a lot.
Yeah.
So, Chapter 6, Emily's new look. Her hair is orange with yellow splotches. Mr. Walner finds an empty bottle of peroxide in the trash and deduces someone replaced Emily's shampoo with peroxide. Nancy accuses Jessie, but she swears it wasn't her and everyone hates her because of what happened to Jolie.
Mm-hmm.
Jolie. Mr. Walner thinks it's Rich, but Mrs. Walner says he's at the library. Nancy tries to help Emily with her hair, and Emily sees Jessie writing in her diary. Emily wonders, what will Jessie do next?
Right. So I tried to go back to high school chemistry, and I can't remember if peroxide on your hair for that short amount of time would actually do some type of damage. And I honestly don't remember. Although I am kind of suspicious as to why didn't Emily realize that her hair wasn't sudsing up when she was putting shampoo in her hair.
Well, I assumed the peroxide was added to the shampoo. It wasn't just peroxide.
No, it said that the shampoo bottle was emptied completely and filled with the peroxide.
Okay. Well, I just Googled. It says hydrogen peroxide can lighten hair in 30 to 60 minutes.
Well, how long does it have to be on your hair?
That's what it's.
So it has to be on your hair for 30 to 60
minutes.
It
says active lightning can occur within 10 to 30 minutes, 60 minutes for more intense results, often mixed with other agents to speed up the process.
Okay.
So I assumed as long as you rinsed it out right away, that would stop the clock, right?
Yeah.
Well, she took a really long shower.
I guess she did.
I mean, she had all that sticky whipped cream. So.
And there are times where I'll let shampoo sit in my hair for 5 minutes if I'm doing other. Well, no, that's conditioner. Never mind. Yeah.
So I let the conditioner sit. I don't let the shampoo sit.
Yeah. Unless, do you ever use Pert Plus?
No. I mean, I did years and years ago. Not recently.
In the 90s I used
it. Probably. Probably.
Chapter 7, titled Murder. A few days after the shower incident, Mr. Walner is making spaghetti dinner.
Yeah, in the last chapter, doing dishes was women's work.
Yes.
So is cooking not women's work?
Well, it's his world famous spaghetti.
Oh, because he can do it better than women can, even though it's women's work. Gotcha. Okay.
So Emily tells Nancy that Josh hasn't been to school in a few days. Then there's a knock on the door. It's Shadyside PD. They caught Rich stealing a cassette tape at Division Street Mall. That night at homecoming, Jessie showed up even though she didn't have a date, and she's hanging out with Krista and her wealthy boyfriend, Ben, who never comes into the picture after this. After the dance, Emily and Josh stayed out until 1:30 in the morning to make out in his car. When Emily gets home, she finds her dog, Tiger, is dead in the kitchen.
Yeah, I think you wrote in your notes at the end that as soon as Tiger was introduced, you knew Tiger was dead.
Oh, yeah. It's in chapter 1. I knew it. Tiger came on the page, and I was like, oh, he's a goner.
He has killed a lot of animals in these books.
He does kill a lot of animals.
I mean, Tiger's not even the only animal that dies in this book. Or animal body that we get described, because the rabbit in the grave.
A rabbit!
Yeah, it's gross.
It is.
I don't approve. So chapter 8 is In Hot Water. Tiger has been stabbed accidentally, because this is Mr. Walner. Maybe he fell on something.
Maybe he fell on the knife.
14 times.
Fell on my knife 14 times.
That's what my 5th grade teacher said about her husband when they found him in the driveway. It was an accident. She tripped and fell into him 14 times. Oh. Yeah. I think she's still in jail.
Tiger had it coming.
Mr. Walner says that he's calling the ASPCA, which is the Association for Protection of Cruelty to Animals.
Mm-hmm. Well, the cruelty has already happened, bub.
Yeah, and also if the implication is it's somebody in the house, you're gonna just have them come in and investigate your family. Also, I don't think you call them just for a one-off animal
stabbing.
Yeah, if you knew who did it or something.
Yeah.
Or I just don't feel like that's an ASPCA job to be called for this.
No. Emily
and Nancy accuse Jessie of killing Tiger, but she denies it. Then Nancy accuses Rich of killing Tiger because he's reading Pet Sematary. I knew that was coming before they said it. Once they introduced Pet Sematary, then the dog died. I'm like, oh, okay, I see where this is going. But it's just so dumb. I mean, we read The Stepsister, so do you know how many stepsisters I've thrown at graves this week? Oh, no, unfortunately, my parents are still happily married.
Well, I will bake you a cake and put a file in it for you if you end up in prison.
I appreciate that. So Jessie goes upstairs to draw a hot bath for Emily. More crushing.
Erotic. Yeah.
Yep. While the water is running, Emily finds Jessie's diary and reads an entry that says, "Oh, Emily is so hot. I can't." No. Jessie read it a few days ago about Emily blaming Jessie again. Emily hides Jessie's diary to read later because she's not going to notice that this diary she left out is now missing.
Right.
Even though she does it somehow, I guess, or at least doesn't make a
She
deal
only
of it.
writes in it once a week.
Didn't it say like it's pretty meticulous, like daily entries?
Yeah.
And
And
then-
she has it for like a good few hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least. And this is anyway.
I know.
I'm done. Then Jessie comes in and tells Emily to take her bath. R.L. Stine continues to write about his teenage stepsister fantasy about bathing. Dear Penthouse, I never thought this would happen to me. Before Emily gets into the bathtub, she remembers Jessie put the peroxide in her shampoo bottle and wonders what Jessie did to the bathwater. I do remember the episode of Breaking Bad where they put the person in the tub and
Yeah,
Jessie
they
was involved in
melted.
that. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
And chapter 9 is a short one. The late night visitor. Emily passes on the bath, so Jessie gets in, and Emily realizes the bath water was safe. That night, Jessie and Krista try to stab Emily while she's sleeping, but it's just a dream. So in chapter 10, called Packing It In, Emily wakes up and finds Rich in her room. He came to tell her that he liked Tiger and he didn't kill the dog. After he leaves, Emily notices Jessie has snuck out the window. Emily remembers she has Jessie's diary and reads an entry about Jolie. Jolie and Jessie got into a big fight, and then everyone found Jolie was dead, and no one believed that Jessie didn't kill her. The next morning, everyone is having breakfast, and Mr. Wallner proposes the entire family clean out the garage, but Emily has plans to go to the computer lab with her friend Kathy. At the computer lab, Emily tells Kathy all about Tiger, the shampoo, the sweater, and when Emily reaches into her backpack, she pulls out Tiger's dead body and screams.
So first of all, that incident happening at school,
Mhm.
there's no way the administration doesn't get involved.
Yeah.
There's no way maybe police even get involved.
Uh-huh.
And this is solved here.
Yeah.
It doesn't go further.
Yeah.
Because
And Tiger is a Jack Russell Terrier, right? Like
you'd
that
feel
type
the
of-
weight.
You would feel the weight.
I
Yeah.
wondered that as well.
I-
It was surprising, though, Jessie didn't just explain that Jolie was a vampire and she had to kill her because she's the chosen one that has to protect
Yes.
the world from the forces of darkness. And then she had to move schools because nobody believed.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yes, I got it.
And then ended up on Hellmouth.
Yes, exactly. The Fear Street is a hellmouth, obviously.
Obviously it is. That would be a fun crossover.
Right?
Buffy and Fear Street.
Maybe it'll happen in the new Buffy show.
Maybe.
Probably not. Chapter 11, The Silent Treatment. A few days later, Rich has a black eye and a cut on his cheek that required 2 stitches. We never find out about that either.
No. Mm-mm.
I kept expecting a subplot where we found out like Mr. Wallner was abusive to his children
That would make sense.
and Jessie's disappearances were trying to protect Rich and take care of him, and that would make her a more sympathetic character.
Yeah.
And that's the explanation I was waiting for that never came.
Oh, my friend.
Okay.
You do not know who you are reading.
Well, I don't know. I just was thinking of good things today. Quality story. Josh stops by the house and he and Jessie talk while Emily comes downstairs. After Emily and Josh leave, Josh defends Jessie, saying she doesn't seem like someone who'd want to hurt Emily. As Josh is talking, Emily sees Jessie staring at them from the bedroom window, holding a wooden stake for some reason. I don't know. Up in smoke, at school, Krista asks Emily why she's being so mean to Jessie. Emily doesn't answer, gets up to clean the stain on her shirt from lunch. On the way there, she passes Nancy in the hall, and Emily makes a mental note of how tired Nancy looks. Then she bumps into Jessie, and Jessie asks Emily why she's being so mean to her and giving her the silent treatment. Emily says it's Jessie who's trying to ruin her life, and Emily isn't the one who sees her shrink twice a week. That's when Jessie runs back to her boyfriend Slater, and it just... Jessie runs off, and Emily goes to the girls' room to wash the stain on her shirt. While there, she decides to pee. And Emily hears someone come in and then leave. Soon after, Emily smells smoke and sees someone lit the trash can on fire. The entire bathroom is up in flames. She tries to leave, but someone's holding the door closed. And that's where I went to bed last night and put the book down. I'm not
So
joking.
you just left Emily in peril.
You know, honestly, I just did not have any sense that she was actually in danger.
Yeah.
No matter how dire it looked, I was just like, we're not going to pull a psycho and change the narrator halfway through the book.
Mm-mm.
So,
No. I will say that RL is the one who is choosing to use the word shrink throughout this book. This is not just my Cliff Notes version or
Sure.
lazy note-taking.
Mm-hmm.
So this is RL saying shrink in this one.
Mm-hmm.
So in chapter 13, titled Prove It, a teacher opens the bathroom door and Emily is able to get out. The teacher brings Emily outside and rings the fire alarm, which evacuates the whole building.
And then the teacher reveals she's still holding the wooden doorstop for some reason that she pulled out to rescue her.
Nancy finds Emily, and Emily tells her what happened. Nancy drives Emily home.
Hospital.
Oh, yes.
Inhalation.
Yes. Well, they offered many times. The teacher and
Great.
both Nancy were like, Emily, you need to go to the hospital. And she's like, no, I'm okay.
So the teacher offered once.
Mm-hmm.
The Nancy offered like twice, but we don't think Nancy actually cares about Emily, obviously.
Yeah.
The teacher should never have let her leave. The teacher should have insisted on walking over to the ambulance.
Yeah.
Just offering once and they saying it's fine and walking away.
Bring her to the school nurse so the school nurse can make that decision.
At minimum. Yeah. It really, really bothered me that this authority figure in the school just let her walk away.
Mm-hmm. So Nancy drives Emily home, and on the way, Emily tells Nancy she thinks Jessie started the fire.
She does not say thinks. I wrote this down. She says she knows Jessie started the fire. And she said it several times. And I really think we should start a drinking game where every time a character of Fear Street says they know somebody did it, when we know it's not going to be that person.
Oh my goodness.
You'd be so hammered.
Chapter 4, I'm going to start singing. Okay. So Nancy hesitates but eventually believes Emily and tells Emily she is going to find proof so they can present it to their parents.
Mm-hmm.
At home, Jessie runs into Emily's room and hugs her, telling her she heard what happened and she just wants them to be friends. But Emily isn't buying it.
Yeah, she needs proof, like a dead dog stuffed in her backpack or something, something like that probably. Chapter 14, Rockin' and Rollin'. Nancy, Emily, and Jessie are at a concert for the Deltoids. I thought the Deltoids were the opening.
Were they the opening?
They were the opening.
Oh,
band.
Okay.
But they go to Vet's Auditorium, which I was thinking Columbus, but then they mention it's actually in the fictional Waynesbridge town. So that's not a real town, but just the way they describe Vet's Auditorium, I assumed it meant the one in Columbus. No,
there's a Vet's.
There was. It was torn down in 2015 when they built the new Vet's Memorial.
Oh,
it was a 4,000 seat amphitheater.
Oh, was
and they
it
used
really?
to have concerts and things there when I was growing up.
Oh,
I never went to one, but I remember hearing there were always a show going on at Vet's Auditorium, and that's what they called it.
How did I not know? I lived here.
I don't know. So I assume, based on the fact that he used the phrase Vet's Auditorium, that's exactly what he was thinking, because at Columbus, we had Vet's Auditorium. Yeah. So Nancy, Emily, and Jessie are at a concert. They have nosebleed seats, and Emily makes her way down the steps to get a drink from a vendor. As she's walking down the steps, she feels someone push her hard from behind, making those nosebleeds literal. Chapter 15, An Accident. Emily tumbles down a few steps, and when she looks up, Nancy and Jessie are on their way down the steps. Nancy and Jessie help Emily up, and Emily tells Nancy someone pushed her, but Jessie tells Emily it was probably an accident.
Just an accident. You know how rowdy we get at the Deltoids. Chapter 16, titled Jessie and Josh. Walking home from Kathy's house, Emily sees Josh's car parked on Fear Street, but it's a few houses down from Emily's house. As Emily walks past the car, she sees Josh and Jessie making out.
Yeah, she sees Jessie. Short, petite, blonde girl who doesn't look anything like her sister.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Furious and in shock, Emily runs down the street, but then decides to confront Jessie and Josh, but the car is now gone. Emily goes home and sees Nancy in the living room.
Somehow.
She tells Emily that Jessie is at Krista's house, but Emily knows that's a lie. Emily goes to her room and sees the door is closed, and she can hear someone walking inside the room.
Yeah, why is she here walking? Because as we get to chapter 17, oh brother, it's Rich, and he's laying on her bed.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he, was getting comfy or, something. I don't know.
Well, he wanted somewhere quiet to read, and the only place he could was his stepsister's bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rich leaves, and Nancy stops by to see why Emily's upset, but Emily wants to be alone. Emily decides she's going to sleep downstairs and looks for her flannel nightgown, but she can't find it. She looks in Jessie's drawers and finds also a large kitchen knife with blood on it. Tiger blood.
Tiger's blood.
Oh, tiger's blood. Sorry. Tiger blood. Whatever.
Same thing. Isn't that a snow cone flavor?
It is. It is.
Chapter 18, In Grave Condition. The whole family goes on a camping trip in South Carolina.
Mhm.
While there, Jesse, Emily, and Nancy look for firewood, but all the twigs and branches are too wet. So the three travel deep in the woods, and Emily realizes she can't find Nancy. She suspects Jesse is going to kill her in the woods, so she runs into a nearby cemetery. She hides next to an open grave, and when she stands to look for Nancy, someone pushes her into the grave.
It's Jesse protecting her from the vampires there in the cemetery that she's come to kill. They get on an airplane with their tent and everything.
Right. Okay, so I know this is in 1990, and like flights weren't all that expensive back in the 90s, but how many people are there?
My family never flew. It was too expensive.
There's 5 people in that family?
Yeah.
No, 4 kids. Yeah, so
6.
There's 6 people flying to from Ohio to South Carolina. That's probably about a 2.5-hour flight.
But you got to factor in hours at the airport. You got to get to the airport an hour or two ahead.
Yes.
Both ways, and you're only going for the weekend.
Yeah. It would make more sense. And, are they bringing their tents with them and their camping gear and all that? That was stupid.
It makes no sense whatsoever.
Makes no sense at all.
Honestly, it would not cost you any more to just drive to South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's a 10-hour drive, but you're only going for the weekend, it just doesn't, none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. Chapter 19, Jesse, Let Me Out. Inside the grave is a dead rabbit. Ugh. As Emily tries to climb out the grave, someone hits her arm with a shovel and breaks her arm. Emily falls back into the grave and sees it's not Jesse. It's Nancy!
Everyone saw this one.
Yep. It's been Nancy the whole time. She killed Tiger. She erased Emily's paper. She put the peroxide in the shampoo bottle. She started the fire in the bathroom. She was the one making out with Josh in his car, apparently pretending to be shorter and wearing a Jesse wig. All because Nancy blames Emily for their dad dying and for stealing Josh. So now Nancy's going to bury Emily alive. I will say, I was shocked and surprised when she said, I blame you for dad dying. I thought it was all about Josh.
I thought it was all about Josh, too. Yeah. Never once occurred to me that she blamed her for dad's death.
And it actually does. I actually do buy her having resentment that she's never voiced. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
But with all of this, because so much of it was petty crap, the boyfriend makes a lot more sense in this context.
Yeah.
If you don't tie them up or knock them unconscious, it's pretty much impossible to bury him alive, right? Because you just keep stepping on the dirt that comes.
Just pack it down.
Right. Like it's okay.
I will say in chapter 19, we learned that the synopsis is actually accurate because it says, as soon as Jesse moves in, she takes over Emily's room. True. Starts wearing Emily's clothes. True. Makes secret late night calls on Emily's phone. True. And it says, and that's just the beginning, but really that's the end of it. That's all that Jesse has done.
Yeah, pretty much. So not so accurate.
So in chapter 20, 6 Feet Under, not to be confused with the critically acclaimed HBO series.
That was at least as well written as this book.
You didn't like 6
I love 6 Feet Under.
Okay, I was going to say, what?
I was being facetious. That was a slam on this book, not on 6 Feet Under.
Okay.
Sorry.
So in chapter 20, 6 Feet Under, Jesse shows up, and Jesse and Nancy wrestle for the shovel. Nancy falls into the grave with Emily, and Nancy throws the dead rabbit at Emily before she lunges at her.
That is so unnecessary to throw the dead rabbit. I'm sorry.
I know.
Chapter 21, Jesse's Secret. As Nancy goes to strangle Emily, Jesse hits Nancy over the head with a shovel and knocks her out. Jesse helps Emily out of the grave, and they leave Nancy totally knocked out in the grave while they head back to the camp. The next day, everyone's home except for Nancy, who's in a psych ward. Jesse explains all the sneaking out late night calls were her boyfriend Darren, who didn't attend homecoming dance for whatever reason. Mr. Warner doesn't approve of Darren because of their age difference. 3 entire years.
She's 16, he's 19. Right?
So it's not even illegal, right?
Yeah.
She also tells Emily about Joe Lee. They had a fight, and the next day Joe Lee fell and died. Everyone blamed Jesse because Jesse was the one who found her. Emily apologizes for accusing Jesse of everything, and they promise it's all over now. We're going to be better sisters. The end.
The end.
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah.
And this is one of the ones they chose to write a sequel on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it is with the same girls.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not like even just like the Stepsister 2 in spirit,
right.
you know, like when a stranger calls to. No,
okay.
I haven't.
You just looked up.
Yeah.
It was the same
because I was curious.
Okay.
So, like I said, I knew that Tiger was doomed the second his name was printed in chapter 1.
If Stepsister 2 starts out with, we have a new dog and his name is Tiger 2. I'm going to scream.
Mrs. Wellner needs to divorce Mr. Wellner.
Oh, obviously.
ASAP.
Obviously.
Wellner, whatever their name
But
is.
she can keep Jesse and Rich because...
I felt like it was terrible parenting on both sides because, and I know this is in the 90s, but at no point did the mom like sit down with her girls and be like, so we're going to have a new family in our house. Maybe we should buy a completely new house so it's new for everyone. Or maybe Nancy and Emily should have shared the room and Jessie could have had her own since Nancy was moving out anyway.
Right.
In a year. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or finish the basement and have someone live there or room in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are all good solutions.
I thought so.
Send R.L. Stine an email back in time.
Okay. You'd be like, look, this is how you handle teenage daughters who do not share clothes, by the way.
No, why would they?
No.
Oh, I mean, maybe if they're besties, they might occasionally, but I doubt it. Like, yeah, it just, siblings don't want to share.
No.
Those things.
I knew that it was Nancy during the chapter when she started accusing Rich and Jessie of switching out the shampoo and then accusing Rich of killing Tiger because he read Pet Cemetery.
Stephen King haters.
This really had no relevance to Fear Street aside from taking place on Fear Street.
No,
but this story could have taken place anywhere, like in South Carolina.
Sure.
Where the ending happens. And then I have in The Stepsister 2 is book number 33, and it's about the same characters. And I wrote, I assume Nancy escapes the psych ward.
I hope so. I also assume none of them are dating Josh, I hope.
I hope not, yeah. And on a side note, I relate to poor Rich because people, especially in the 90s, thinking that he is a murderer because he likes horror books. I got accused of that many times because I liked horror movies.
And only like 60-70% of the kids that read horror books grow up to be murderers. So it's really not a fair stereotype.
That's not it. I think it's more like 6 or 8%.
Oh, it's not that high. It's got to be like 0.06%.
So what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's a book.
Yeah, it is a book.
It might be my least favorite so
Really?
far. I really didn't like it.
Just because of, like, not the plot holes, but...
The plot holes were bad, but I didn't like Emily. And
she's not.
And I think, had Jessie been the protagonist, I might have liked Jessie, because eventually everything we learn about her, I'm like, okay, she seems like a reasonable character, but they spend the whole book trying to get you to hate her. Yeah. And... yeah, Rich seems sympathetic, but you know nothing about him. Nancy's just awful. The parents are useless. Yeah. It was not... There was a bunch of gratuitous crap that just didn't... Yeah.
What's your rating on it?
I can't give it any more than a 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5?
I can't go higher than that.
I'm at 2.5 out of 5. It's right down the middle for me. I have that it's predictable, but if this was the first Fear Street book that I had ever read, I wouldn't have known that it was Nancy because I wouldn't know R.L.'s style of red herring just blunt in your face. Yeah.
No, I agree with that. I do wonder now, is it just going to be so easy for us to predict the rest of these? And how will that affect our enjoyment going forward?
Well, and that's also telling. Like, R.L., stop with the rinse and repeat storytelling.
You know, I think that's part of my dislike of this, is the repetitive mistakes he made in other books coming back over. Yeah. If this had been book 1 or 2, I might not dislike it as strongly as I do now. Yeah.
I also have a side note about my feelings toward R.L. Stine are shifting very quickly in the negative zone. That R.L. is now very telling with how he feels about women in general. He's a misogynistic prick, just like Mr. Wellner. Yeah, Wellner is his name.
That seems reasonable, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he was in his 40s in the early 1990s. So, yeah, of course, white male. Like, of course he's going to.
Did he have daughters? I hope not.
I know in this book, he talks about his son, Matt.
R.L. Stine. Let's see. His Wikipedia page says he's been referred to as the Stephen King of children's literature. That's awful.
Is that why he mentioned Stephen King at Cemetery? And
they only have one child, Matthew, born in 1980.
Okay.
And then they have a grandson, who was also male, born in 2014. So he
Okay.
had a 10-year-old boy when he wrote this.
When he wrote this. Yeah. Oh,
Never had
maybe
any
rich.
daughters.
Yeah. Well, that's probably good.
You know, he does famously apparently type all of his books using only his left index finger, causing the finger to become curved over the years, and he jokingly calls it hideous and totally bent.
So he just hunts and pecks?
With one finger.
What?
Yeah. How does he turn out this? Now we know, because I said I could write this in a week, and then you have the rest of the month to fix it.
Yeah.
This is why he doesn't have any time to fix it.
Uh-huh.
Because it takes him the whole month to type with his one
and peck.
finger.
Yeah.
I mean, I hunt and peck 85 words a minute without looking at the keyboard, but I am using all of my fingers. I am not using one finger. And I've never heard of anybody hunting and pecking with just one. Maybe one on each hand.
Yeah.
But he says on Wikipedia, it's just his left index finger.
Does he have like arthritis? And
he said now it's been in his finger because that's how he's been typing for so long.
Well, if it made him millions and millions of dollars, God love him.
Kind of flabbergasted by this new information.
I know.
It doesn't help my opinion of him at all.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next month we will be reviewing book number 10, Ski Weekend.